concretely and collectively dotes folly. So yeah, man. You hear Jake mention all the time when they speak about music, man. You know, like man, these dudes silly, man. Really silly ain't a good thing, man. Silly is really a bad word. You know? When something else to happen, all these sirens went on, something else to happen. No, because there's been so much going on in this community, man. Shootings, man, just murders after murders. This world, man, this world, you can tell this world is through, man. You know? Just going back to the scripture, folly is set in great dignity, man. All right, this is speaking about that. 1 Timothy chapter 1, it says, "But we know that the law is good for man use it lawfully, knowing this, that the law is not made for a righteous man, but for the lawless and disobedient, for the ungodly and for sinners, for the holy and profane, for murderers of fathers and murderers of mothers, and it says for manslayers, for whoremongers, for them that defile themselves with mankind, your homosexuality," is what it's speaking about. It says, "For men stealers, for liars, for perjured persons, and if there be any other thing that is contrary to sound doctrine." You know, a lot of these so-called leaders or teachers, you know, they don't teach you sound doctrine. Sound doctrine, the word doctrine just means teaching. Sound means well put or strong. All right, when you go into the etymology of the word, all right, and that's truly what it is, man. Because men and Jake that was speaking before I would start camp, what caused me to start camp a little late. We was talking about 30 minutes or so, man. And he was, you know, it was a beautiful conversation we was having, you know. But we was talking about that, man. How these so-called pastors don't show out people where they're erring, you know, where they're erring in the mind and the spirit, and that's the main reason why they do the things they do. Shalaki, let me throw on a hoodie. You know, that's the main thing that's going on in this world, man. Everything is about you know, if you got the bag, you know, you know, seeking riches, vain riches. That's what this world's about, man. So when you're a person that when you're an individual that speaks righteousness and uphold righteousness, you're abhorred in this world. Nobody wants to be around you. They think strange, like I said, they think strange of you, and then they separate you from their company. All right, but that's good though, man. You know, that's good. That's good that they separate you from their company because they can be they can be a stumbling block unto you. So by you getting away from them type of individuals or people, it can allow you to grow, man. Because they don't care about doing the Most High's will, but you do. See what I'm saying? So basically, it's a good thing. In other words, you know, it's a good thing, man. You gotta understand, brothers, that we're in the world that's ran by the wicked. So we don't expect we don't expect we don't expect the majority of people to be on the same page as us, man, or on the same path as us. Because what did the Yahweh Shah say in Matthew the 5th chapter? He said, "Let your light so shine." Lights mean knowledge, you know. Let your knowledge shine forth, man. In other words, the knowledge shines forth because the knowledge that we have is precious. You know, we don't have the knowledge of this world, or wisdom. I'm sorry, the wisdom of this world. We have the wisdom that leads unto righteousness, man. It's like you gotta fix my dog. That's why we're strange even unto our people, man. Most of our people, man, you see what they doing. They're not doing things that's pleasing to the Most High, man. All right. Was that it? Yeah, that was it on that. Now, Book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12, again at verse 1, it says, For thine incorruptible spirit is in all things. Therefore chasten thou them by little and little that offend, and warnest them by putting them in remembrance wherein they have offended, that leaving their wickedness they may believe on thee, O Lord. You know, that's what the Lord do to us, man. He chastens us little by little. And see, one thing about chastening, there's a process of chastening. Like when you have your own children, you chastise them, and you break it down to them where they erred at, or they've been wrong at, so they'll understand and get it. All right. They don't just get chastened for no reason. No, you chasten them. All right, they get chastised, and then they break it down to them, and they see, oh man, this is why I got a whipping, or this is why I got discipline, right? All right, the word error means to go astray. It's an online etymology. It says, go astray, lose one's way, make a mistake, transgress, wander, go astray, be in error. Yeah. So it says it also means deception as well, straying. You know, and we all went astray. You know, at some point we all went astray. You know, that's what that's the scripture where Paul said, "For all have sinned and come short of the glory of the Heavenly Father." You know, we all had to go down in slavery. You know, we all was punished for our iniquities. You know, we all went into slavery, into the hard part of slavery. All right. And it was a horrific thing, man. It was a way to correct us, man. The Most High got tired of Jake adding up sin to sin, man. That's what Jake was doing, adding sin to sin, and thinking the Most High was going to just let it fly. Verse 3. For it was thy will to destroy by thy hands of our fathers, both those old inhabitants of thy holy land, whom thou hatest for doing most odious works of witchcrafts and wicked sacrifices, and also those merciless murderers of children and devourers of men's flesh in the feast of blood, with their priests out of the midst of their idolatrous crew, and the parents that killed with their own hands souls destitute of help, that the land which thou esteemest above all other might receive a worthy colony of the Most High's children. Yeah, the Canaanites. See, the Most High and the Father, when he led us to our land, right? And he warned us, man, about leading us up there. He not only led us to there, but he warned us and told us not to do as the Canaanites, man. Because what the Canaanites was doing, they was doing all kind of witchcraft, idol worship. It was full of idolatry, man. And then, like I just said, that's the most land, the most esteemed land of all. That land was promised to us, man. And here it is, the Canaanites defiling the land. All right, they defiled the land with total witchcraft. Sacrificing children. All that stuff is going on in our land. And the Lord kicked the Canaanites, well, the Lord set us forth to go kick the Canaanites off our land. But they was a profane and vain people, man. So, and especially, before we got to the land, more importantly, we had what? We had the law, we had the commandments, we had the statutes, we had the judgments, right? So, when Jake got in the land, we knew how to conduct ourselves. And it was a total opposite of the Canaanites. Because I was just going into that, man. As a matter of fact, Deuteronomy 4. Deuteronomy 4 and 5, it says, "Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as Yahweh my power commanded me, that ye should do so in the land, whether ye go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. For what nation is there so great, who hath the Most High so nigh unto them, as Yahweh Yahweh our power is in all things that we call upon him for? And what nation is there so great that hath statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law, which I set before you this day?" See? So we already had the law, we already had the commandments, statutes, and judgments before we enter into our land. The Lord promises to us, man, and to our fathers, and to us, man. Well, basically, the Lord promised to our fathers that he would give it unto us, man. And yes, our forefathers, Moses didn't make it to the promised land, which is sad, but reincarnation, he entered in, All right, but when he was Masha, when he was Masha, when he was Moses, he didn't make it into the land because the weight of basically the weight of the children of Israel, stressing Moses, weighing Moses down, man. Our people, man, weighing him down so much, man, that man, it's just sad, man. I'll just say that, man, because you see it today. You see it today, man. Our people are still rebellious, still stiff-necked. Think they know everything, don't know shit for the most part. I didn't know nothing until I learned this knowledge. Then I began to know. All right. Even in the world, I had a zeal for the Heavenly Father. I didn't know the Creator in the world. I had a zeal for him, but I just didn't know. I didn't have the knowledge then. Just had a zeal, and that was it. I didn't have the knowledge at all. So Romans 10 applied to me. The before the Lord brought me in. I had a zeal for him. I didn't know that. I didn't have the knowledge. But it's a process. See? It's a process. Now I'm able to go in the scripture and understand. In the world, I tried to read, but I didn't understand. That's the main book in the world I would try to read. I always never got far. I think I read the book of Job once or twice, maybe. So the Lord opened my eyes up to understand now. 7 years ago. Now I can go back and read and read with gladness in my heart, man. And now I can understand now. Now I know what the mark of the beast is. The RFID microchip. Now I know who I am, according to scriptures, as far as my nationality. And who are our people in general, according to our nationality in the scriptures. I know who the people are of the heathen nations, who they are. Because the Lord, the Most High, the Father, had mercy upon me to get this knowledge. All right? I didn't do anything special, but the Lord chose me to get this knowledge out of my siblings, man. So I'm thankful for that. While you help my Shemel Shah for that. Speaking of the RFID microchip, the mark of the beast, me and that Jake was speaking about that before I opened up the camp. Now, Jake out here is reluctant to get jabbed all up because they know within their mind something ain't right about it. And the main people that Esau trying to get that jab into is all our people, man. You Negro, Latino, Native Americans, man. All right? He wants you to get jabbed all up. You know why? Because you're the main ones that's on his agenda of trolling or doing away, especially doing away with a lot of us Israelites, man. That's what Esau wants to do, man. But a lot of Jakes, man, ain't taking that jab, man. A lot of reports coming out from the insiders. This Dr. Fauci guy, he's been proven a liar. So there's a whole lot of shit going on with that, man. Recently put on the news, the efficiency was manipulated. What they were saying in the news or something like that. It was Friday. I listened to it yesterday morning. So they under heavy scrutiny right now, as far as Esau's government, especially that Dr. Fauci guy, man. And then they silenced this guy. This Edomite his name is Rand Paul, man. He was banned from a lot of social media platforms and stuff. They banned him, and what else happened? Yeah. So he spoke out. I was watching RT News about that. All right. He spoke out openly against the jab, and what they did was they was demonizing him. But us men of the Lord, we already knew what was going on, right? We've been watching. We've been watching and carefully, looking well to our goings through the spirit of quality of Shemel Shah. So we wasn't fooled about what was going on. We already knew because we heavily watched and see what's going on. All right, all matters really. 2 Corinthians 2:11 says, "Least Satan should get an advantage of us, but we are not ignorant of his devices." Yeah, man. We're not ignorant of Satan's devices, and Satan physical counterparts are the Edomites, man. And you got it where Edomites are actually speaking out against their own government, man. Even the elites, man. So what they tell you? You have some Edomites that's not even agreeing with their own government, man. And they're a house that's divided against each other. All right? Because anytime you see that, because usually Esau be all in, to do shit against us Israelites, but when it's concerning something that's going to affect them and their families, that's when they speak out about it, like this opioid crisis and all that stuff. See, the reason why the opioid crisis is such a big deal right now is because it's affecting a lot more Edomites, man. It's spread throughout their communities and it's ravaging their communities. See, when they was hoping for it to ravage our communities very much so, which crack cocaine did. But see, a lot of this prescribed opioid, all right, it's all within Esau community mainly, man. You got some of it in the J community, but it's heavily, man, with the J community. The Edomites come over into this, they come across a bridge, and they buying all kind of prescription pills that Jake get prescribed. That's how it goes, man. You young, you see Jake, you see your older cousins, or your uncles, aunties, and shit. Whatever they do, they sell. They out, so they dope boys, dope girls, whatever, and they get prescriptions from another relative that has surgeries and shit. They prescribe them high ass, potent prescribed drugs. And what they'll do is they say, man, look, man, some of them will take one and be like, man, this shit too strong, man. I ain't taking this stuff. And what they will do is they will sell it. And who the main people that was buying it? Edomites. So now, Edomites that's in the position of a political office, they're in a political office, they speaking out about it, right? Mark 3:23 it says, and he called them unto him and said to them in parables, how can Satan cast out Satan? And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. But that's what's going on with Esau. Esau, like I said, he's the physical counterpart of Satan, and you see Esau is divided. Hell, you look at the news, certain European countries are against this transgender thing. And they're getting flack from the EU. So basically the heads of the EU, the European Union. Verse 26, and if Satan rises up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but have an end. Yeah, man. And we see that. We're watching it. All right, we're watching it. As we speak, they're divided against themselves. And what you see Edomites doing. It's almost getting to the point where when they was the Romans and they would always conspire to kill one another. That was going on with the Roman emperors when the Edomite Roman emperors was emperors. That's what they was doing. A lot of end killing, man, end murdering. However you want the word. See, that was going on. They don't like this guy. They get other people not to like this guy, and they conspire together and take this guy out. That's what's going on right now. A lot of political infighting going on right now within Esau's government. And even DJ Trump is still in the midst of political rhetoric. They still talking about this guy. This guy been in office over 7 months. They still talking about this guy. They still having ongoing hearings about this election fraud. So they clearly are divided, man. Which is a good sign for us, man. A good sign for us Israelites, man. We're watching watching the fall of Esau, Edom, the wicked. All right. So really, you should be excited because these devils are almost out of power. So basically, you should be just, basically you should be just teaching, man, doing this work until the Lord comes. Daniel 12 and 13. I'm sorry, verse 12. Daniel 12 and 12. Blessed is he that waited and cometh to the 1,305 30 days. And go thy way till the end be, for thou shalt rest and stand in thy lot at the end of the days. And that's what we're doing. Men of the Lord are standing in your lots. You got the prophets of old that's back. Men of the Lord of old is back. Teachers, helpers, all of us that was believers back in our past lives, we're back. We're fulfilling our lots. We're standing in our lots. That's what's going on. You see? That's exactly what's going on. We're not faint-hearted or nothing. We're standing in our lots, standing firmly upon our feet, man. Though it be wickedness all around us, Yahweh Shem Yahushua has his hedge of protection around us, man. This is Isaiah 54 and 17, and it reads, no weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. Yeah, man, that's why, when our people come up here with all kind of bullshit within their minds, they all filled with foolish wisdom of this world. And why I say that? Because the Lord said the wisdom of this world is foolish with him, man. You don't even learn it. You don't even learn real. You learn bits and pieces of history they want you to learn, but when it comes down to real history, they don't want to teach you that. So what are you learning in reality? The answer is nothing. Esau, he manipulates the people, man. I was at work the other week, not the last week, but the other week, and me and my boss, we were just having to talk about history, man, out of nowhere, man. And he was telling me how you watch, National Geographic, how they go into a lot of historical movies and stuff, and I watched it a lot at work. And I was just revisiting, history, during the time of the Romans and the Greeks, all that, the Greco-Roman history. I was going into it, and he was talking about a lot of that stuff. And as we talking, I'm like, man, you know what? I didn't know that. I played it. You gotta be. You should say, be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. So I played it off. I'm like, man, I didn't know these. Some of these Roman emperors were so-called black. And I started going to the Holy Roman Empire. You gotta play. You gotta play. Play that role with the Edomites, man. So I was going into it about it. He was like, yeah, man, I love it. He's like, yeah, but he said, yeah, I knew it was black Roman emperors. That's what he said. And I said, ain't that something? Because in school, they don't even talk about things like that, man. They don't teach about Marcus Aurelius and his son Commodus or none of that. There are many so-called black, so-called Negro Roman emperors. That's what made it the Holy Roman Empire, because the real Jews took it over. Even going into the history of this guy, this one Jake, man, Septimius Severus. Even this guy what's the guy that war with Rome with the Romans and he killed a lot of Romans, man. Hannibal Barca. All right, this dude, the way they do military battles or word battle today is based upon this guy Hannibal Barca. They try to say, oh, he was African. No, he wasn't no fucking filthy, dirty, musty African. No. One of the biggest lies ever told. The Negroes are not African. Two totally different races, man, of people. You go into the Bible dictionary, it tells you that. It says Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born 96 years before the flood. It says he became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes. So why the hell you put this African American label on so-called Negroes? Keep them in the confused state of mind. And you know that they the real Jews, the southern kingdom of Israel, man. But anyways, yeah, Hannibal Barca, man, this guy, man, they call him an insane general, man. But what he did was he marched through the Alps. He marched through the Alps of Rome, the mountains where nobody have ever traveled through during that time. And some of his men had died. And what happened was he had enough men to survive. And then before he went into the back or the heart of Rome, basically he had rally up other what do you call them? Barbarian tribes that came together. And what they did was they met them. They met them Romans, and they was way outnumbered, by the way. Way outnumbered. And what he did was he met the Romans head on, and he outflanked them on the side, and then he had ambushed them from the back. And to this day, they use that in war. They call that dude. They say he was a war genius, man. Because the way I can't remember the number. Because the Romans had almost, I want to say like 80, around 80,000, 70 some or 80,000 Roman soldiers, and they was only like 15,000 strong. Maybe almost 20,000 strong. And they slaughtered them so fucking bad. They slaughtered them damn Romans so bad to the Romans had to call for help other provinces. And then what they did was they used his own, they had outnumbered them, of course, they had to call a larger wave of troops in or soldiers in, but they used his own tactic back on him.